Here's your wrestling news for November 14th, 2021. And your headlines for today include: huge title change closes out AEW Full Gear 2021, Ring of Honor star signs with AEW, first title match confirmed, Eddie Kingston reveals last words with Jon Moxley before Rehab, Roman Reigns' 698-day accolade was broken this week, main roster call-ups expected after multiple NXT superstars spotted at Smackdown, former NXT UK champion far more open to idea of main roster call-up, Malakai Black confirms stable plans in AEW, top AEW wrestler out with concussion after botched move, Bruce Prichard gives update on Triple H after cardiac event, Smackdown superstar reveals controversial gimmick WWE rejected, and more. We're kicking off today with AEW Full Gear as the reign of Kenny Omega has come to an end. In the main event, Hangman Adam Page finally became AEW World Champion, a win that fans have been counting on since the company was founded. The finish of the match saw Omega kick out of his own finisher, the One-Winged Angel, but after Page hit a buckshot lariat and hit a second as the Young Bucks surprisingly gave him a nod, this was what it took to get the 3 count. Page ends Omega's 347-day reign as champion, the longest AEW World title reign to date, and second longest reign of any AEW champion behind Hikaru Shida's 372 days as Women's World Champion. Post-match, the new AEW World Champion celebrated with the Dark Order as the era of Hangman Page has only just begun. AEW's pay-per-view was a huge night, and although Bray Wyatt didn't debut like many fans had expected, fans did get to see a huge name show up. During the show, former ROH World Champion Jay Lethal appeared, saying he's heard about the Forbidden Door and that now he's all elite. Apparently signing with the company, Lethal didn't waste time as he accepted a TNT Championship Open Challenge, which brought out Sammy Guevara. Staring each other down, that match was confirmed for next week's Dynamite in what'll be an epic way for the former Ring of Honor star to make his in-ring debut for AEW. Full Gear featured a ton of AEW's biggest names, but didn't feature Jon Moxley, who made the incredibly brave decision earlier this month to enter alcohol rehabilitation. Now AEW will have to go without one of their very top stars, but Moxley has been sent a ton of support by people both in and out of the company. Speaking to the New York Post, one of Moxley's closest friends, Eddie Kingston, described their last interaction before Moxley entered Rehab, saying, "Before he went, I just told straight up, dog, I'm here for you. I'm not going nowhere. That's all I texted him. I'm here for you. I'm not going nowhere. I got you. I believe that's all what some people need." There's no timeline on when fans can expect to see Moxley back in the ring, but until then, no matter how long that is, Moxley and Renee Paquette have the entire wrestling world on their side. On last Friday's SmackDown, Universal Champion Roman Reigns faced King Xavier Woods to establish the true leader of the Blue brand. The show may have ended with Reigns donning Woods' crown as the Bloodline bowed down to the Tribal Chief, but the match itself ended in a no contest, which is bad news for Reigns. Since the match ended in a no contest, this broke Reigns' 698-day winning streak, as all other singles televised matches he'd been in had seen the Tribal Chief emerge the victor. Before this week, the last time Reigns lost a singles televised match was back at TLC 2019, where King Corbin toppled the Big Dog with help from Dolph Ziggler and The Revival. In those 698 days, Reigns defeated megastars like John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. But the head of the table will have to start his winning streak all over again next week. SmackDown also saw Von Wagner make his main roster debut, featuring in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce and Sami Zayn. It was a surprise to see Wagner, as he's a relatively new face in NXT 2.0, but he wasn't the only Gold brand superstar around. PW Insider reports that in addition to Von Wagner, Cora Jade, Dexter Lumis, and Dakota Kai were also at this week's SmackDown, though none appeared on TV. It's interesting that Lumis was around, as he's set to face Tony D'Angelo on this week's NXT 2.0 after the wise guy handed Indy Hartwell a dead fish. Cora Jade and Dakota Kai have also been at odds in recent weeks, and we'll have to see just how soon these three make their main roster debuts after being around last Friday. Speaking of call-ups, Walter has been a dominant force in NXT UK ever since his debut back in January 2019, but he may now be ready to come to Raw or SmackDown. On social media, the former NXT UK champion revealed that he's dating fellow NXT UK superstar Ginny, and this could have major ramifications on his future. PW Insider reports that when Walter signed with WWE, it was made clear that the Austrian wasn't moving to the US, and that was something his wife pushed for at the time. Walter has since split with his wife, and the report notes that he's now far more open to moving to the United States. WWE traditionally tries to keep couples on the same roster, meaning that his new relationship with Ginny could be a factor in whether he moves stateside after all. Unless WWE has plans for her to be on Raw or Smackdown, it appears that Walter will remain in NXT UK for now, but the chances of him being called up got far more realistic this week. More from AEW as last night's Full Gear saw Malakai Black team with Andrade El Idolo, but came up short against Cody Rhodes and Pac. For much of his run in both AEW and WWE, Black has worked as a singles wrestler, but that will soon change, according to the man himself. In a sit-down interview with Fulton County Post, the former NXT champion confirmed that there are plans for a House of Black stable, but remained coy on specific details. Black added that things will come together when the time is right, and that he doesn't want to rush anything, noting that some of the ideas he's had for the group haven't been discussed with Tony Khan yet. Last night's match was originally meant to be a fatal four-way, but plans changed as the story between Black, Pac, Cody, and Andrade developed. And we can expect plenty more multi-man matches in Black's future when his stable comes to fruition. Now, during the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament, Lance Archer botched a top rope moonsault that resulted in him landing on his head, and the Murder Hawk Monster's condition is worse than first thought. Wrestling Inc. reports that Archer is out with a concussion because of that move from the October 23rd Dynamite, despite reports at the time that Doc Samson did a check on Archer during the match, where he passed a concussion test. Clearly, that result wasn't accurate, as Archer is now out for the foreseeable future and won't be back until he's cleared. Archer isn't being promoted for any future AEW events at this time, but hopefully this bump in the road won't keep the Murder Hawk Monster out of action for long. In September, mere days ahead of NXT's relaunch into NXT 2.0, Triple H suffered a cardiac event stemming from a genetic issue. The game hasn't been seen since then and has remained home, but still keeps in communication with the team at NXT 2.0 during shows. During the latest episode of Something to Wrestle With, Bruce Prichard gave an update on Triple H, saying he's feeling better and coming along good. In his place, Shawn Michaels has taken over a lot of the roles Triple H was meant to have at the Performance Center, and it's great to hear the WWE COO is continuing to feel better. And we're ending today with Mustafa Ali, who has shared a controversial gimmick he almost had. In a tweet, Ali discussed the gimmick in question, saying that his promo was deemed controversial, but wanted to share what could have been with the fans. In the promo, Ali speaks about the United States and stereotyping, saying that although he was born in the country, he constantly has to prove he belongs there. The former police officer adds that he has to be careful about what he wears to avoid making people think he looks suspicious, and declares that he plans to launch a campaign for a new America. This promo had shades of Muhammad Hassan to it, who was also a United States citizen who felt he was discriminated against because of his name and ethnicity. Shortly after posting his promo, Ali's name was trending on Twitter, and we'll have to see if WWE circles back to this controversial gimmick, which has proven to be popular with fans. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.